Hey there! Ever heard of a Ponzi scheme? Maybe you've heard the word Ponzi scheme. No, it's not a new type of pasta. A Ponzi scheme is a type of scam where the scammer promises high returns on investments, but instead of making real profits, they pay early investors with money from new investors. So it's just money being shuffled around. The scheme is named after Charles Ponzi, who became infamous for promising investors a 50% return on their money in just 45 days by supposedly investing in international postal reply coupons. But there were no real investments. He just used the new investors' money to pay the old investors. So how does a Ponzi scheme really work? Let's break it down with an example. Imagine Bob starts a fake investment company and promises people they'll get double their money back in a month. Sounds too good to be true, right? That's because it is. Bob convinces 5 people to invest $100 each, so he collects $500. But instead of investing it, Bob spends it on a fancy vacation. Now it's time to pay the investors. Bob doesn't have any real profits, so he needs more money. He convinces 12 new people to invest $100 each. Now, he has $1,200 from the new investors. Bob uses this new money to pay back the original 5 investors, giving them $200 each as promised and keeping the remaining $200 for himself. The original investors are thrilled and tell their friends about the great returns. With these new endorsements, Bob attracts even more investors. He keeps using money from new investors to pay returns to earlier investors. But here's the problem. This only works if there are always more new investors. If people start asking for their money back, or if Bob can't find new investors, the whole scheme collapses. Why? Because Bob isn't making any real profits. He's just using the new investors' money to pay the old investors. So, when investors start wanting their money back, Bob doesn't have enough money to pay everyone. Imagine everyone wants their money back at the same time. Bob needs to pay $2,000, but he only has $1,000 from the last group of new investors. He's $1,000 short, and without new money coming in, he can't pay the old investors, and that's when the whole scheme collapses. One of the most famous Ponzi schemes was by Bernie Madoff, who pulled off the biggest Ponzi scheme in history, scamming billions of dollars from thousands of investors. He offered investment returns in the range of 10% to 20%, which seemed so good, but not too suspicious. As he used to be the chair of NASDAQ in the early 1990s, he had a good reputation and made lots of investors believe him. He successfully ran the Ponzi scheme for 17 years until the 2008 recession. As the recession hit and more investors withdrew their money, he couldn't pay their returns anymore. To make it worse, he admitted his wrongdoings to his sons, Mark and Andrew. His sons reported him to the federal police, the whole scheme collapsed, and he was sentenced to 150 years in prison. So remember, if an investment opportunity sounds too good to be true, it's probably Ponzi scheme. Always do your research and be wary of promises of guaranteed high returns with little or no risk. And of course, don't try this at home. If you want me to make other videos about these tricks, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.